UCT.TV.
Welcome back to All Africa Champs, Day 4. Today we have UCT playing IzzyEz. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you. Yo, it's a beautiful day here in Joburg. Quite chilly, nice and sunny. Should warm up as the day goes on. Got a slight breeze, but it's shaping up to be a good day.
Didn't know it gets hot in Joburg.
Well, not hot, just not as cold as it is right now.
So, UCT, the defending champions of the last All Africa Champs, against IzzyEz, who's a mixed team from the Gauteng province, with one or two extra from around the country and potentially around the world. UCT starting this game on defense, kind of easily with the disc. Been doing a good job of putting it right at the back of the end zone for the whole tournament. I'm sure he's hoping for this again in the last game of the pool stages of this tournament.
Bit of an equipment boo-boo there.
Well, his team is probably having very sore legs by day 4 of this tournament, with UCT having a 17-man squad, and IzzyEz seems to have a much larger squad than that.
Yeah, your legs on day 4 must be pretty dead.
Apologies about the noise. We have a tractor driving past us. UCT with the pull, Connor puts it right at the back. Well fielded, goes to Faraday.
Oh.
Unfortunate drop in the end zone. A little bit of miscommunication. UCT with their first chance for a break. Christine caught with the disc. A bit too many people cutting at once, but Anna saves the day.
Oh.
Unfortunately dropping that disc. Z running that disc up to the line. Get that flow going as quick as possible. Pick called though. Rourke marking.
Devin Norman.
There we go.
A giant. Not somebody you want to go up against in the air.
Definitely going to be a huge deep threat in this game, but often seen as a handler for this team. Faraday gets the disc. Once again putting number 30 under a lot of pressure to not just be able to get that score. Christine cutting up the line. Great throw by Connor for a score. UCT 1 break.
That's such a difficult situation to mark when you're so close to the end zone. It's just, there's not much space to catch up on your mark.
I mean, I think the goal there is just not up the line. And unfortunately, she let that happen, which is probably the easiest score. IzzyEz almost staying with the exact same line. Being a pickup team, it's interesting that they would play offensive defensive lines. But obviously they must be quite structured by day 4 of this tournament. Vian with the disc. A very interesting player. Huge fakes. Sometimes doesn't look where he's throwing, but always seems to come off.
Beautiful pull hanging there, giving UCT time to get up to their marks.
UCT obviously a little bit of tired legs. Almost a miscommunication, but well hung on to. Faraday going deep. Jonty going with. Eliza seeing it, but not quite covering. Faraday with an easy grab in the end zone.
What a beautiful throw.
We should definitely learn that man's name, because I feel he's a key part of this team.
That was an effortless flick.
I feel like many throws in Joburg are effortless with the lack of oxygen that we have. This just seems to go.
And with the wind, makes it a bit easier to throw those hucks.
IzzyEz must be quite happy with that hold. Definitely don't want to go 2 breaks down straight away in a game. Can see Devin Norman being quite a key member of this team on every point so far. Huge defensive pressure going to come from him.
It's good to see him back on the field. He was down a while back for about 2 years with his, I think, he's broke a bone in his heel, and he was walking around with a moon boot. That's how I know Norman. It's good to see him back on the field.
Seems to be a fairly injury-prone man. I see him quite often in day 3 or 4 of a tournament just hobbling around.
I think with that height, your center of gravity and your general wear and tear is a bit more than your average player.
Devin poaching, but no one taking advantage of it. Tristan going deep. This goes up. Well led into space. Not giving Devin a chance. Devin... Tristan resets to Vian with those big fates I talked about. Pavi with the catch, but whether or not it stays, no, it goes back.
They're really going to have to watch Pivy this game. Pivy's a deadly handler.
Pavi again, same throw, same result, easy score. Pavi being one of the main handlers on this team, but you often see him just go deep with his speed. No one sees it coming. Quite difficult to shut down the handler going deep.
Pivy known for his sexy calves.
I've heard they've got smaller since he stopped cycling.
It's a shame.
Now he's just known for his ultimate skill. Connor and Rourke deciding who gets this pull. Seems like it's going to Rourke.
Rourke also injury prone. Normally the knee. Back again as well.
Very tall line that UCT is putting on with Joe, Connor, Rourke and Merrick. All over 1.8, which is what, 6 foot? I don't know. Hard put by Rourke, with UCT just jogging it down the field. I think IzzyEz get a few easy resets.
He's got a deep option, doesn't take it.
Goes for the reset, nice grab under pressure. Mez really throwing that foot up in the air, not letting that throw go off. This goes back to Bling.
To Lungi.
From what I know, Lungi is very bad at getting out of bed in the morning. This goes up. Merrick's under it, so is Bling.
It's hanging.
They play in the same scaffold team, but right now, Merrick, since he did well in Nationals last year, coming 3rd, was allowed to come back and play for UCT.
Christine Court going to pick up the disc there.
Also one of the really key players in this UCT team. able to put the disc on the open side, the break side, wherever she wants. Mez taking advantage of that great cut. Oh, a little bit of miscommunication, throwing it behind Connor. Lungi cutting up the line. Nice climbing the ladder to bring that down. IzzyEz with the hold. It's those little mistakes that cost you in these games. UCT really going to have to reel it in from here. But IzzyEz doing a great work at just making sure that they're scoring all of those.
UCT known for their athleticism, being a university team. Young spring chicken legs.
Spring chicken, hey?
Yep.
I believe Vian is quite an old chap on that line. The ripe age of 25 already. Which wouldn't quite be spring chicken.
I don't know, the Long Donkeys, one of the main teams in South Africa. They all, I mean, how many players do they have over 35?
How many players do they have over 40? I mean, they're national champions, so obviously something's working for them. Lungi with the disc. A big pull, last pull. Seems like he does it again. No run-up needed for him. Vian fields that pull, goes to Rowan. Rowan goes to Eliza. Eliza back to Vian. Really just taking advantage of them taking a long time to get there. Eliza cutting up the line. Nice cut, gets the disc. Pole position, throws it up. Tristan gets the disc. Tristan not quite putting it far enough.
That's unfortunate. They're really going to have to reel in these mistakes if they're going to want to win this game.
Devon being downfield, being a huge threat. Tristan being shorter than him. Will it go up? Will we get to see it? Oh, Lungi with the... Not quite sure how that one was dropped. Rowan picks up the disc, swings it to Vian. Sarah cuts under, goes back deep. Nice little put by Vian. Seems to really like that high release backhand.
Beautiful.
End zone called by UCT. Liza with a rage cut to ensure she gets that disc. UCT, a team that's been playing this vert stack in the end zone this whole tournament. Two people cutting to the same space. And Eliza brings it down with Devon marking her. Huge man. Devon committing to the going backwards and Tristan just completely open.
So sneaky.
I'm sure Devon wanted that D. Almost double Eliza's size.
He was just left wide open there.
I'd say a little bit of miscommunication between the two defenders. Devon wanted to take Eliza. Definitely needed to call a switch to make sure his teammate knows what's happening.
I think we really saw fourth day legs there in that game, in that point. People not putting as much effort in as they normally do. Or maybe not, it's not the effort, it's rather just
the intensity that you would want. A little bit of a quiet game, especially for UCT, generally a team that works off momentum and spirit and cheers going all around. We've heard none of that so far. Maybe that's something that's going to change in their game, or just bring the intensity that they want.
The wonderful thing about Tigers?
This Tiger's a wonderful thing. A cheer almost directly taken from Winnie the Pooh. Very well made up by Nixa Loomis, the founder of the UCT club. who has been said to not be able to make anything as good since then. And there goes the deep shot to Lionel, sporting his always ripped shirt, an amazing grab behind him. A little bit of conservation of greatness there. I've always wondered why his shirt is so ripped. It's definitely done on purpose.
Yes. No, I played with him at 2015 Opens on a Renegades team, and I bought his shirt to him, and he immediately took a knife out and cut holes in it. Told me it keeps him from overheating. Very interesting man.
It makes sense, but at the same time, the ground would be a lot more sore if you land on it with a little hole in your shirt. Nice cut by Amanda, getting that disc on the sideline. Bubble to a drop. Very unfortunate there. Sizwe picking up the disc. A previous member of the under-24 squad back in 2017.
Yes, 2017.
That was a confusing year when it was in Perth and pushed back by 6 months. Great throw by Christine, just leading Pavi into space. Goes to Jonty, not quite running onto the disc, but he gets it anyway. Great catch by Christine. Number 53, Pavi cuts up the line. And a left-handed grab for the score. Some would say that Pavi only lays out on universe points to win tournaments. Other than that, we have never seen it. Christine and Pavi been playing together for the last 3 years. You can really see the connection between them. UCT normally being a 4-year program. So this year, many UCT players will be leaving, graduating from the university. But it gives them an opportunity to build again, bring in new players, really being the development workhorse that they've been in this country.
Shipping their players off to Joburg mostly.
I mean, isn't that how Skyfield started?
Basically.
Now Rock with the disc again.
Disc goes off.
Little footwork. Not quite allowing him to get the disc where he wants it.
Devon with the disc. Oh.
Devon looking off everyone that seems to be open. Throws to the unnamed city. Alistair with great work on the mark. Really putting pressure. Disc goes up. Just leading her into space on a stall 8-9 throw. Alistair doing a great job just shutting him down. And putting it deep, it goes up. Finally we see the Tristan-Devon matchup. Tristan boxing. And Devon just climbs the ladder, barely jumps and brings that down.
BFG.
IzzyEz with the hold. Playing a perfect O point, perhaps the first one of the game. Could just be a play for this team, just put it as high as you want. Let's see if anyone can defend Devon.
Anywhere high. I've heard that quite a few times from the donkeys, also being full of tall people.
Justin doing a good job of boxing, just not having a chance for that disc. Especially with that, with it blading back into Devon. But yes, donkeys, a team full of very tall men. Used to be taller back in the past, but some have stopped playing.
Pity to not see them here at AAUC.
Unfortunately, not attending the qualifying tournament.
Yeah, they had just gone to Worlds in Cincinnati, Club Worlds, and I think a lot of them were just either couldn't get the leave or I don't know what it was, but they're not making that tournament. So
The tournament was also in Grahamstown. From Durban, it's not the safest route to drive. Understandable why they chose not to attend that tournament. Josh Murphy putting on a good little mark in the middle of the field. No one quite cutting deep for UCT, what Connor wanted, but Vian goes up the line. Vian with an amazing catch, but unfortunately seems to have been stepped on or rolled his ankle there. Hopefully that isn't a proper injury, being a huge player on the UCT team.
Pivy coming on for Vian there. Of course, with an injury call in Ultimate Frisbee, the other team can sub if they need to. Doesn't look like IzzyEz is going to take that sub.
A little confusion about the rules there, but it's sorted very quickly. UCT with chaos, it seems. No stack. Nice cut by Connor. The double cut always seems to work. Lost his hat at the end, and therefore we get to see his beautiful hair.
Hats off to Connor. Sorry, it's terrible.
It's okay, it's needed. UCT with the hold score being don't quite know. There we go. 5-3 to UCT. Hopefully Vian can walk that one off so he's able to play again.
He looks like he's testing it out. Doesn't seem too bad. Jogging on the spot.
Rourke seems to be designated puller on this line.
Very quiet.
I mean, in the location that we are, you will hear no cars, no trucks, only the occasional boat horn for cap. Rourke putting the disc out of bounds, obviously aiming for the cars on the side of the field that are parked too close. I believe one of those cars is our cameraman. Perhaps he should move it later if people keep pulling like this. Sipo just taking his time, walking to the brick mark. A man that lives in Joburg must be used to this altitude, but perhaps not as much training coming up to this tournament.
You can see him in his Skyfeld kit there. Interesting to see him playing with Josh Murphy and Kershal from altitude.
Lungi wanting to put it, but Z just holding up that space. Faked out the way, goes deep.
Again to
Devon. With just double coverage, but UCT just not able to get that D. They're really going to have to make some change in this game if they want to take it from here, just coast to the end. But once again, Devon just being a huge threat downfield. He stands and just waits for the frisbee to come to him.
He's such a big man. I wouldn't like to run into him, or even worse, have him run into me.
But Devon taking a sub this point, leaving Lungi the tallest man in the field.
Fadi with a close second. Also a ex-member of Wild Dogs, the 2017 campaign.
I mean, so are you and I. Unfortunately not able to play today. Also on that line, who's on Lungi's team, is Nicole, sporting the blue shirt which seems to have a unicorn on it. And they say the perfect kit doesn't exist. Lungi going huge, but not able to keep it in bounds. Jonty with the brick.
Jonty laying out for basically everything.
Not quite yet in this game, but hopefully we can see it later for some of those highlight reels. Sees we're marking him. And the disc is in, swings to Chris. Chris with an amazing break going to Joe. Joe putting that disc to Connor. Connor with the fake up line. Goes to Jonty. UCT not quite setting a stack yet. Chris going up line. Disc going up and unfortunately dropped.
Good pressure there by Kershaw.
Seems like Christina's hurt her finger in the process of that one.
Sizwe with the disc looking deep.
Sizwe, a man that is always ready to put it. But Joe, being a very tall man, misreading that disc. Gets an easy clap catch. Goes back to Lungi. Sizwe wanting that disc. Sizwe getting the disc. Faraday just pointing where he wants it. He puts it up. Lungi brings it down, keeps his feet in.
He had no reset there. I think that was a bit of a desperate throw.
But if it works, they must be quite happy with that one. That is their first break of the day. Putting the score at 5-4. The UCT still just making those basic errors, causing them to lose points. Josh Murphy just telling his team that he is not going to play defense. But seems like he's staying on the field. As he now walks off. This being one of the go-to lines that IzzyEz uses.
Josh Murphy's got his son on the side of the field there.
Very excited little boy. Been running around the whole weekend. But Josh must really appreciate it because he must just go to sleep straight away at home. Z now with the disc. Hoping for a big pull. See if she'll go for the IzzyEz conventional no run-up pull. Step and throw. Little baby shimmy, disc goes up. Disc lands half field on the sideline. Pavi running to pick it up.
UCT really using those up the line cuts.
Nice little poach by 30. Really seems to be a man that knows what he's doing. Chamonix cuts the line, Rock puts it too far. Once again, UCT throwing the disc away.
You really need to avoid those unforced errors if you want to take your games. Devin with the disc.
Devin being such a big man, he probably can't find shoes very often. That's why he's wearing tackies. Maybe.
I think it's due to his injuries, actually.
Lovely throw there. Gets looked off going deep because there's already someone standing there. Chamonix with a great D, but takes her down in the process.
Frisbee supposedly a contactless sport.
But no call made.
Great spirit there.
Someone's really going to make a cut for them. Eliza goes up line, she goes back. Faraday doing a great job at just standing far off. It goes deep for Rock. Rock reeling it in. Just can't keep it with his left hand. Faraday doing a great job on Pavi, not letting him throw that around throw very easily. Devin going up line. He's looked off by Merrick. He comes back. Didn't know that he took dancing classes. goes Fatty. Good pressure by UCT, just making them take those little resets. Disc goes deep. Fian under it.
Risky throw.
Fian gets that disc, well read. Definitely not quite there, otherwise who knows what would have happened there. Liza gets the disc. Merrick makes a nice cut, gets the disc. Number 30 really putting pressure on Rourke, who's not an easy man to stop. Pivy gets the disc. Pivy goes to Rourke. Many people deep. It goes deep.
Not quite sure what happened there.
It was a decent put. Unfortunately, Amanda with a little bit of a misread, and our unnamed 30 just putting pressure on her to be able to not get that disc. Once again, UCT with a little bit of unforced error.
Devon with the disc again, marked by Merrick.
Z getting the disc. Z passing to Faraday, just taking the little easy up the line. Disc going deep. Can he reel it in? No, a bit too far in this Joburg air.
He should be used to it though, playing in Pretoria, not too far from here.
Rourke walking it up, gets it quickly to Fian. Fian looks off Eliza, goes back to Rourke. Pavi going deep. Faraday on him, shutting him down. Goes back to Fian. Fian goes to Pavi. Now maybe their chance. No, Devon sitting in the middle.
UCT really looking fluid at the moment.
Pavi with a nice grab using his left hand. Vian cutting into space. Obviously his injury doing nothing to him.
Beautiful put there by Pivy. I don't know if you remember at the trials for the 2017 Wild Dogs, there was the howling wind. And we were doing that M drill and everybody's throw is just going nowhere and Pivy's just throwing as if there was no wind.
From what I remember, I was very injured during that trials. And was unable to participate.
Again, commentating.
Oh yes, I was.
On the live stream.
UCT calling the timeout, maybe wanting to use this to just get their heads in the game, stop making those silly little mistakes. Christine and Peter being the captains. It's a cold wind blowing through in Joburg at the moment, especially if you stand in the shade where our commentary booth is located.
During this timeout, I got a fun fact from WIFDIF. WIFDIF has made a fictional country for their World Beach Ultimate tournaments, and it's called Courier Island. They've been playing since 2004. They've participated in every World Beach Ultimate tournament since 2004.
How did that happen?
I have no idea.
Perhaps it is a combination team from around those areas. Have you got more of those interesting facts for us?
Unfortunately not. Get some more coming your way.
Little known fact about our cameraman. He comes all the way from Australia. Obviously struggling with his sleep schedule at the moment. But will be enjoying a few days in South Africa afterwards. It being a very beautiful country and it having a lot to look at. Once again, an unusual wind blowing in Joburg today, which has been the story of this tournament, really interfering with teams. Not what you expect when you come to a Joburg tournament.
I think contributing to the day 4 legs is the cold. Hard to get going when you've been standing around and legs cool down very quickly.
Connor now with the disc. Hoping that his hat will stay on with this pull. A nice high pull from Connor going across the field. Heading towards the flags. Seems to have stayed in. Bling faking up the line, going back, getting the disc from Josh.
Nice, Connor. Keep going, Connor.
Connor putting a great mark on there, not letting easy pass go off. Disc goes up to Connor. Jonty covering as well. Lungi being a very tall man. Will he climb over them?
Nice,
Not this time. Jonty gets that D. But a foul is called.
Rubbish call there from Merrick Stevens.
Not always the greatest spirit talking from the sideline, but he's obviously a little bit upset about that one.
Of course, Frisbee being a self-refereed sport.
Fortunately, Spirit captain not having to get involved, since the Spirit captain was involved in the foul call, being Jonty, number 56.
Pivy there to offer his opinion, but only allowed to offer that opinion if he's called on.
As expected, Connor has lost his hat.
He does have majestic hair though.
Seems to be the common trend of this weekend. Any time that we see Connor online, we just speak about his hair. Not about how he plays.
Hard not to.
The disc is going to stay with Lungi. Very well covered by Jonty. Unfortunate foul being called there at the end. Takes that easy reset. Connor ready.
Yeah, Connor. Yes, Sarah.
The up the line cut looked off. The next up the line cut also looked off. Disc goes to Bling. Josh Murphy just faking back in the stack and just walking that disc into the field. Score is now 6-all.
Bit of age over beauty there. Sneaky or wise wisdom coming from age.
Oh man, you called Alistair beautiful, and he'll appreciate that later.
I love you, Alistair.
Lungi being a huge player in this game for IzzyEz. Really just being their bailout option, but also being able to put it wherever he wants. A man that we have not seen for most of this game is now on the field, being Alistair, wearing the number 1 shirt, being first year university this year. Leaving his team Altitude. He must be quite disappointed to lose him.
Unnamed 30 with the disc there for the pool.
I'm sure when he watches this game, he's going to be very upset that we called him unnamed 30 for more than half the game. But we'll ensure that during halftime we figure out what it is. This goes to Vian, to Eliza. Nice cut by Tristan to get the disc. That is a common matchup with them marking up against each other. Open Nationals. Lungi not quite ready for that one. Tristan going deep. Looked off to Joe, who's completely open under. Joe looking upfield, well covered by Lungi, again getting taken up line. Almost getting every single one of these. Eliza makes the up the line cut.
Hand block. Beautiful Lungi.
Lungi very happy with that one.
Oh, it's such a sweet feeling.
In this cold, I wouldn't say it's as sweet as you think. Lungi not even going for that disc. Expecting better from Sizwe. Lungi wanting to get this one again. Laza cuts up the line. Doesn't quite get it. Vian goes up the line. Very well brought down. Not quite in. Trissi goes up line for the very cheeky push pass. Foul called though.
I was about to say that was a bit casual for such an intense moment.
Seems Tristan is saying that he went over his shoulder. Sizwe seeming to disagree with that. Vian with a nice grab before a interesting decision to go for a push pass into the wind. Don't quite know if that one was a foul.
There was contact though.
And as we know, if there is any contact in the motion of going for the disc or afterwards, it is a foul.
This goes back to thrower. Vian. Second chance.
Tristan hoping to do the same thing, but potentially a little bit better. Tristan with a little fake just to go back and stack. Anna has the cut in. Goes back to Pavi. Pavi get his head back in. Gets a disc to Laza. Laza gets it to Anna for the score.
Beautiful.
Pavi throwing in fakes this time because Lungi has betted him once. Easy way to get a respect from a player, just to get a hand block. Score 7-6, UCT 1 away from half.
She was so confident there. She didn't doubt that throw for 1 second.
Anna, a player that's only been playing for the last 6 months. Just came out of injury. Has definitely picked it up this tournament. Learned a lot. Potentially the first time I've ever seen Peter Ivy get hand blocked. Rourke now with the disc. Being joined by Christine, Connor, Merrick, Rowan, Chamonix and Donna. Donna busy doing her master's degree in psychology. I fear having conversations with her as she's probably always analyzing what we're saying. This goes up from Connor. Oh jeez, sorry. Rourke. Devon fielding that one before it hits the ground. Rowan doing a good job to get there first. Bling with the disc, looks off. Sizwe. But back to Sizwe. Seems to be quite a handler dominated flow right now. Goes back to Bling.
I believe Bling is a ex-boxer.
Oh, with the Harley's fake. Do you know if he was any good?
Not too sure, but judging by his movement, he's pretty quick.
We should watch his feet from now on. But puts it quite low for Devon. Devon just getting down. Sizwe and Bling just running this offense. Connor just missing that. Back to Sizwe. These hand marks really have to pick up. Nice work from Rourke to stop that initial throw. Sizwe just turns back. This goes to Devon having to go behind. Goes up. Bling brings it down. Bling gets excited and just throws it away. Very unfortunate when he has been probably played the best point of his game so far.
Christine caught moving across to the disc.
Seems to be a little bit of a not zone, but Christine then goes and puts it up. Doesn't put it far enough for Mez. Sizwe just brings it down. Gets the disc, holds it up. Discussion on whether or not it's a grab.
I definitely thought that was up.
Me too.
Disc up.
Disc caught up with a weird goal signal. Not quite the correct hand signal there.
I don't think South Africa is known for its whiffed of hand signs.
Oh, disc goes up.
again to
Devon, foul called straight away.
Kind of contesting the foul call there.
Jonty stepping in straight away, following the 15 seconds. But the right thing is done. This goes back to throw on 6. Always a difficult thing where you work so hard to get that turn, work so hard to keep the thrower from throwing it. On stone 9, it goes up. Foul called, goes back to 6. Just talking about what I spoke about. I passed my advanced accreditation at least on the 3rd try. Huge grab by Devon, not a man that's easy to defend. Sizwe dancing around, not getting the disc. Bling now dancing around. Throw goes up, still brings it down, but pick called.
Again, Connor with the hat.
As you can see on the other side of the field, Vian flexing for us, all potentially saying that it was a pick. Can't actually tell.
Not too sure. UCT always coming with their gun shows.
Bling with a good grab, but unfortunate pick call. This now back in, Bling going back. Bling considering just putting it up.
Oh, what a fake! Unfortunately, throw goes down, but he really sold Rourke there. Rourke with a full turnaround.
One of the worst feelings in Ultimate when someone completely turns you. Rourke cutting for the disc, not able to get it. Going after Rowan.
Christine caught wide open with a power position there.
Putting it into space. Chamonix reeling that in.
Unfortunate.
Not able to close it down.
That was a beautiful throw. We have an injury called.
Not quite communicated straight away. Don't know what happened there, but he has gone down. Lungi now coming onto the field, being one of the biggest players on the IzzyEz team. Sees we're having the disc. Will it just go straight to him? Not quite yet. This goes to Devon, quite low again. Devon really good at going down. This goes up to Lungi. Good work from Christine to get the D, no call. Christine really coming in to cover Lungi. Doing Rowan a favor. Christine really just owning this offense. Rourke cuts behind and gets the disc. Christine again cuts, gets the disc. Chamonix reading that well to come and fetch it. Rourke cutting behind. Pick called. All Bling is just showing that they used to be a boxer. UCT really going to be wanting to get this point to take the half. Throws it up the line, gets it to Chris.
Christine caught just to open every time.
Devon doing a good job. Goes to Rourke, no one on him, but no one cutting either. Devon doing an amazing job at shutting down Connor. Just goes to, with Donna cutting.
Easy point there.
Donna showing her knowledge of the hand signals. That is when you put your hands up. And that is half to UCT, 8-6.
TV.
Anyway, these guys are real nerds about the handshake and whether we can get up to the scratch. It's not that difficult. Foul, pick, test. What is injury? Violation. Go. Okay, yeah, let's just use that.
Welcome back to the second half of this IzzyEz against UCT match. UCT up 8-6, starting on O.
Did we manage to get an unnamed 30's name?
Of course we did. His name is Oliver.
Oliver. I believe he's an import from the US.
He appreciated us calling him unnamed 30, so if you ever get confused again, he will accept that name. But now Lungi with the disc. As I say that, he walks off the field. Rather Devon wanting a turn on this line. Lungi looking short next to Devon, but looking tall next to everyone else.
I had a quick chat with IzzyEz. They really are a big jumble of all sorts, made up of 5 teams, being Wits University, Skyveld, Altitude, Rangers, and Dream Team from Soweto.
I mean, what about where Oliver comes from? 6 teams.
6 teams.
Nice pull. Very almost hitting Donna on the way down. This goes to Eliza, back to Pavi, back to Eliza. Pavi going up the line. Faraday really making his life difficult. Nice left-handed grab. It seems like that's all that he does. This goes up the line.
Beautiful chase down there by Tristan, but not too sure if it was in or out there.
This was called out by someone, agreed by Tristan.
Good spirit there, quickly resolved. Interesting marking technique there. Legs so wide apart.
And the disc goes huge. Pavi's under it though. Well read. Faraday having no chance in that one. Little bit disappointed with the throw. Vian just jogging around the field. Eliza cuts up line, gets a nice throw from Pavi. She's looking inside, but Devon being such a big man can't hit him. Beautiful inside break, almost like there's no mark. This goes to Tristan. Tristan back to Eliza with the little drop.
Very disappointed with herself there.
Eliza covering for Vian for a little while. Olive having the disc, putting it up with the hammer. Not coming back in field.
Surprised that's the first hammer we've seen this game.
Faraday again working hard to get that disc, just not having the throws that he would expect from his team.
Faraday coming from a family of ultimate players. His older sister playing in Cape Town and his brother playing with him here in Joburg.
UCT cutting really early, but the disc isn't quite in yet. Tristan going deep again. Not looked at. Disc gets to Merrick. Vian dancing around with a little lefty from Merrick. Great throw.
Great grab there by Pivy. Bit of a dodgy put there by Tristan, but Pivy does well to reel that in.
Faraday really wanting that. Going for the layout. But Pivy just showing his speed. The O-line, Josh Murphy walking back onto the field. Connor now with the disc, getting his practice rotations in. UCT consistently being able to send out quite a tall line. Connor signaling that he's ready. Disc going up. That's a heart on that one. Not as much distance as he would have wanted. Seems to be a common occurrence this weekend. UCT coming down with the first zone of the game. Josh gets that easy little throw. Faraday with the disc. Faraday to Bling. Bling through the middle. Lungi with an easy one-handed catch. Super chilled about that one. Big fakes to get it back to Bling. This being fairly simple weather to play zone against. UCT just hoping for that little silly mistake. And there it is going up. Con under the disc. Con max it on, but unfortunately not. Nicole not there in time.
Having a bit more noise coming from UCT, but still not their usual cheery selves.
Lungi really being a hassle on the UCT handlers at the moment. Bigness really playing a part, but some miscommunication going to the turn. UCT had an opportunity to break, but threw it away.
Josh to Lungi. Lungi's looking deep.
Man called, but no one is quite on Lungi yet. Lungi taking the throw to Faraday. Faraday heading. Foul was called, but it was retracted. Disc is back in with the hammer, but violation called.
That was a beautiful hammer though.
Josh completely open, but probably because of the violation. Violation again. People should really make sure that everyone on the field is ready before they start playing. Still lots of communication about where people were standing. Rourke finally signals readiness. Faraday with a lovely little give and go. This goes back, but Rourke reads it like a champ, picks it up.
Rourke with a not in my house D.
This goes too far for Chris. Not quite wanting to lay out today. Faraday dancing. Joe stopping it. This goes up. Nice grab. Nicole looked off downfield. Lungi hoping to get that one. Not quite yet. Bling gets the disc. Continues to look open the open woman. Bling throws a skeptical throw. Josh almost bringing it down.
Even with a fake behind his back there.
Raw cutting up line, but it's not going to him. Instead goes to Shamani. Shamonics as they might call her, but a travel was called. Disc is now in. Rock cutting under, clearing. Huge around throw. Goes to Rock. Shamani gets the disc again. Alistair gets the disc in the middle of the field. Alistair with a soft flick. Goes to Christine, back to Shamani. Shamani being a huge part of this offense. Raw considering putting it deep to the loud shouting Connor, who really wants to get some revenge on Lungi, who got the better of him earlier.
Connor with the disc.
Nice grab under pressure. Anna wanted that disc, not quite getting it. Rock goes back.
A miscommunication there. Bling looking long. Will Lungi put it?
Everyone's going deep. Instead looked off. Nice switch by UCT. Rock not quite active enough to get that D.
That was good effort there by Fadley, unfortunately not reeling it in.
This Lan definitely getting tired. Not used to playing points this long at the tournament. This being point 2 of the second half. Fadley just sitting down, not willing to go off. This goes to Chris. Fadley looks broken running after Connor. Chamonix gets that pass, drops it. Let's see if they can have a little bit more energy now that they're playing O. Fadley still not. Makes his cut, gets the disc. Josh makes a nice cut of line, doesn't get the disc. Instead goes to Lungi. Josh again open. Even at his age, beating the youths. This goes to Nicole, who just bubbles it.
It's unfortunate, she really did cut well there. Connor looking deep.
Connor going up.
Big air.
Josh against. But Alistair just jumping early because Josh jumped early.
Again, age over beauty.
But there is no one back. Timeout called. Really needed this point. Both teams absolutely broken.
Josh Murphy looks like he's contemplating why he plays frisbee.
Both these lines working really, really hard to get this point.
These long points can be devastating.
Especially at this altitude. Not talking about the team, of course. Speaking about the height above sea level.
That was terrible.
Look, man, you don't get laughs if you don't go for the jokes.
Of course, UCT being the ones that will suffer from the altitude more than this all sorts team. I asked Lionel Spilkin if he has a fun fact for us. He says he's the oldest semi-frisbee playing player in South Africa. I'm not sure what he was quite getting at.
Is that confirmed? Is he actually the oldest person in the country, or is that one of the 65% of all facts are made up kind of facts?
I'm not too sure. He said semi-playing, so I don't know if that's a different category to just playing normally, but who knows.
Do we have an age confirmation for him?
Unfortunately not. I do know he's a lawyer.
Do you think he cuts holes in his work shirts?
I'm not too sure how well that would go down with your clients, or I'm not sure if he's in court, but definitely wouldn't go down there. Can you imagine him walking into court with his gown there, with cutting holes in it? I suppose he doesn't need ventilation there, though.
More importantly, would he rip his knife out in court to do it if he got hot, or would he do it beforehand? Altitude really going to want to take this one. Them using their their timeout to get it.
They seem to have more energy after that timeout.
Oh, Josh just really enjoys shouting at people. But a player with his experience probably has the right to. He knows what he's doing on the field.
He's a solid player. Played with him also in a pickup team in 2015 at Owens. Really great player.
Oh. Unfortunate look at the rules there, since Bling is moving ones they had already set. UCT bringing that up with them.
UCT setting up their zone again.
This now goes to Lungi. Back to Fadley, who's also been one of the main players. Just goes over the top. Rourke just reads it well. Chamonix hitting it back into Rourke and almost having a play on it afterwards.
Foul called there by Josh Murphy.
Team still on a discussion of what was happening.
Again, John T moving over to step in there as spirit captain. We have IzzyEz. If we have any Australians watching, IzzyEz sounds a bit like IzzyEz. I'm not too sure if that's what they're going at, but when I heard it, I had a little chuckle, and then it was explained to me afterwards, and I was very disappointed to find out that it wasn't in fact IzzyEz.
I believe if it was Australian, they'd say IzzyEz, mate. If it was Canadian, it would be IzzyEz A.
We're still having the IzzyEz brew. This is terrible.
Christine with the big throw around. Many people under that one.
Into traffic.
Alistair going up. Faraday apologizing for something, but seems like it stands.
Did he try and hold his hand there?
Perhaps. I did not see it.
Bit of bromance going on there.
Alistair putting on that straight trap to the sideline. But he just takes the big swing anyway. Faraday looking for that disc, but Chamonix putting a good stop on that. Disc goes to Faraday, back to Josh, back to Faraday.
Interesting zone
There it
there.
goes deep. Very well held on to. This goes back to Nicole. Nicole holds it.
It's an interesting zone there by UCT. The 1-3-2-1 in this wind. They really are leaving a big gap, in my opinion, there for easy pops.
Everyone now has a man. Bling makes a cut, doesn't get it, makes another cut, gets the disc. Tries to go for the Harley's fake to turn Rourke again. He will not fall for it once again. Being put under pressure. Eventually has to go over the top.
Beautiful.
Big hand block by Rourke.
Christine with the follow on D.
Christine going deep. Alistair going deep.
Rourke's looking.
Rourke looks it off, goes over the top to Chamonix, who brings it down this time. A little bit of a step forward by taking that one. Goes to Alistair for the score. Very, very long point comes to an end. Finally, UCT with a cheer. Very excited to score that one.
It's such a great feeling scoring that point after it going on and on and on. Really great motivation for your team.
Good work from both sides in terms of defense to get that many turns. But it would be better to see teams getting turns on each other like Rourke's hand block instead of throwing the disc away like it's happened so much this game, to be honest.
They really are making it hard for themselves, harder than it should be.
But now both teams with a completely fresh line, having about 10 minutes off.
Nice, good move, safe.
Pivy with the disc there, getting ready to pull.
3 in a row, easy.
Waiting for IzzyEz to signal that they're ready for the pull.
I like you with your long hair. You always tied up.
This being a line that has quite a few handlers on it for IzzyEz, having Sizwe, Z, Devon and Oliver, the nameless 30. I wonder if it's anywhere near his age.
I don't think so. It doesn't look.
Anyway over, maybe 25. Ooh, doesn't feel that pull. But still gets the throw without a hassle. This goes to Z. Z goes up to Devon, but no fear with that catch. Blade across.
I think Devon prefers those high throws to the ones that are at his feet. I think it's a bit easier for him to get there.
I'm pretty sure him, like most of us, prefer the throw chest height. I mean, his chest height is most head height for others. Big call downfield. But this stays still with Sizwe since it did not affect. Sizwe, the kind of guy that's going to look deep a lot. Pavi batting on it. Oliver with a nice grab. Oliver fakes the hammer. Just goes around. Rowan not quite putting on the tight defense that UCT is looking for. Devon's going deep, which means he is an option from now. Goes to Sizwe, but a pick is called. Quite messy ultimate coming from IzzyEz right now. But still, they get the disc flowing, get the disc moving. Rowan with a very fast man, plus getting the disc another 10 meters. And through the layout, Oliver seems to have hurt himself. You can really see the commitment to stop that one. Unfortunately, he has to sub since he caught an injury.
Not too sure if I've ever seen a layout just to stop the disc. There's a huge commitment there from IzzyEz's import.
It is very important. That disc could have gone all the way to the end zone. And he changed that. Laza cuts up the line. An amazing grab, puts it up a bit too high for Pavi, allowing there to be pressure. UCT really going to have to start taking advantage of these turns. Sarah putting pressure there.
Vian calls a foul on himself there, great spirit.
Apologies for laughing so hard into the mic. Vian having very, very good spirit to call a foul on himself.
He really is such a nice guy.
Vian being considerably shorter than his opponent, but still forcing him to come under, really not letting that deep option go off.
Devon again with the disc.
Mez just standing arms up because that's all he should do.
High throw there, brought down by Bling.
This goes across the field. Two players could have gone for it. UCT's really got to pick up their defense here, especially with it being so close to the end zone. Z being out with Sizwe, but disc eventually goes up to the common denominator being Devon, who just takes it down. Merrick having no chance.
Great boxing out there by Devon, really using his size and his height to block out his opponent.
Not a man that has to actually box anyone out, but still a good job for him to do it. UCT getting that disc to store none. Probably about 3 times that point. Good defense, just really got to turn on the jets at the end. Now Devon with the disc. The man that has the potential to just put it out the back, but potentially put it out the back of the next field as well. Devon signaling readiness. Apologies, that's a difficult word to say.
Devon with the pull, beautiful.
Big pull, making Christine work to catch it. Connor to Rourke. Donna being open, Donna with the catch. Donna a bit excited with that one. Connor not quite communicating that he's not open.
But Bling really alert there. Devon with the disc looking. It's a bit of chaos there in the end zone. Not really an option for him.
Really cradles that disc into his chest, making sure not to drop that one. Throws to Bling. Bling looks off the open option. Bling then goes to Devon. Christine doing a good job of shutting down that line. Disc goes up. Jaunty with a great D, making sure not to hit her. Just putting her under enough pressure though. Pick called.
With all these picks, we're really going to fill a garden shed in soon.
Unfortunately, not a turnover for UCT because of the pick call. Jaunty putting in the work, but just unfortunately not able to turn it for his team properly.
Isn't it a turnover if you don't complete the throw?
Always a difficult rule to completely understand completely. The appendix would definitely be needed here.
Bling showing there his upper body movement from his boxing days. Sneaky throw.
Amazing work from Rourke, just putting on pressure for any throw. Devon getting a hand to that, but going over him. Christine now with the disc, hoping to lead her team to get the score. Easy cut by Alistair. Alistair going to Anna. Connor with a great cut, but unfortunately looked off. Just goes to Rourke.
Oh, beautiful cut by Christine.
Oh my
Whoa,
word.
great grab. Even up to the bubble there.
Some would say that Christine planned that one. Most would disagree. UCT with no deep options at the moment.
Rourke with the disc.
Connor really wanting it, making it known.
Dump to Christine.
Back to Rourke. Christine going off the line, but instead the disc goes to Alistair, who puts it up. Great grab. Still no one cutting to the end zone for them.
Vertical call there by UCT. Taking quite a while to get into stack.
Jaunty climbing the ladder but dropping the pass.
Unfortunate. Usually taking everything. Every D, every catch.
The layout gloves not quite helping him there. But he's had those for about 3 years, so they have about no grip left on them.
Huge fake by Devon there. Great grab by Kershaw, his teammate. One-handed layout.
Foul was called, but seems to be not well communicated. Anna calling a foul, but just...
No, they're calling Kershaw out there.
Oh, my apologies.
Kershaw saying she's in, that she stepped out.
Travel being called.
Oh my word.
Apologies for not quite knowing what was going on.
Travel called because she stepped out the field.
That is correct. You have to set yourself back up on the line before you can play.
Kershaw struggling to get her words out there. Fatigue really getting the better. Again looks for the huge throw. Don't think that's coming in.
Not quite kept in. Many observers in the way there. Unfortunately not touched by any defender, so the disc goes back. But not there. It's known by Chris. Bling contesting that one, just checking if he was inbounds before he went for that greatest. Unfortunately not.
Violation called there. People moving before the disc is tapped in.
Technical being called.
Of course, technical being...
Devon going to cover that one. It going for Jaunty. Devon just macking it down the field.
Great D there. I was just saying the equipment call not actually really being an official call, but you can call it and the teams can decide whether or not they're going to let that call stand. Devon moving up to the line.
Very interesting matchup with Alistair being almost of equal height to Devon.
Almost being as close to you ever get to being as tall as Devon.
Rourke doing a good job at shutting down Bling, but the
Massive
disc
push.
goes up. Jonty with an easy read for a D, slaps that one almost out of the field. Christine running back to get it, but no one quite back for her right now. Rourke cutting, gets the disc. Rourke looking off that deep option, hits Chris. Alistair comes under, Donna also comes under to the same space. Can't hit both.
So Connor's looking deep.
Connor throws up. Jonty with a nice read, unfortunately dropping the disc.
No foul called. He finally ties his shoelace.
Always a difficult situation when you're trying to tie your shoelaces as quick as possible and you just can't get it right.
Trying to say your words as quick as possible, can't quite get them out there.
Connor letting that disc go for the easy under. Alistair must be ready for that. Just going up the line. Alistair almost getting a hand to it.
Oh.
Just also going up the line. Connor going
Connor.
huge.
Great D there. Bit of incidental contact.
Connor really being a great defensive player this whole tournament.
Also really not able to keep his hat on.
The whole tournament.
Why can't he just tighten it?
Well, more importantly, why can't he just tie his hair back, you know? Obviously quite uncomfortable in a hat though. Once again goes up, putting Jonty under pressure
Same
since he
put.
has to compete with Devon, but Devon leaves it. Jonty considering the foul call. Foul called. This one being discussed on the field as we can see what happened. Devon being very nice to not go for that disc. Don't quite know why that foul was called, but it's being discussed on the field.
Devon avoiding contact there.
Spirit captain's coming to get involved.
Well, I mean, Jonty is the spirit captain, but
Technically, he's still getting involved then.
uncontested foul. That's interesting. I'm not too sure if that's the call I would have made. A bit of confusion there with the rules. Jonty walking to the line there, disc in play. Looking ready for action, waiting for that cut.
Jonty looking off one open option, making it tough for himself, hits Christine. Jonty then cuts up line using his speed, not quite getting the disc, and Rourke forces it in.
It really is looking quite messy though in both end zones. Not really being able to clear space.
Must be quite difficult on day 4 to ensure that all your cuts are coming off right.
Still freezing here in the shade. I'm thinking back to what I said at the beginning, doubting whether that is actually going to warm up here in Joburg. It's looking really dry. We usually play Rocktober here, and the fields aren't normally this dry.
There seems to be something brought up in every commentary conversation. The field quality is not quite what people would have wanted, but it is what it is, and you have to play through it.
I had a look there though. Initially I thought it looked really hard, but it's not actually. It looks hard, but when you're on the field it's not actually too bad.
I've heard from a few players that when they lay out they've got a mouthful of sand, which isn't always fun.
I've played on fields that feel like a grater. You lay out and you come up and you feel like you have more grays than skin.
UCT taking a very tactical timeout with only 2 minutes left of the game, essentially pushing this one into cap.
(10-7) UCT is probably not too stressed at this moment, feeling comfortable. They must keep their intensity up though. It's often a mistake made by teams. They feel comfortable and then they take their foot off the gas and opposition comes from the left wing. And
UCT going to want to put this one to bed after this point, since they're a team that's in contention for the finals, and it is about 30 minutes after this match, 30 minutes from now.
The game, Cool Waters versus Ghost, just finished, it seems. They're having their spirit high five, not too sure what the results are there. Cool Waters being a team from Kenya that's made up of 2 teams that have joined together for this tournament. I heard from some players that Kenyans are living up to their name, really running hard on the field and hard to keep up with, really quick. UCT taking the field again. IzzyEz also lining up. Spilkin back on the field.
IzzyEz not playing some of the main handlers in Devon or Oliver. Oliver must have quite badly hurt himself with his little layout to stop the roll.
I don't know if I would have called that little.
I mean, he didn't travel too far, but it seemed like he landed on his wrist on the way down. UCT with the pull, Vian has it in hand, he puts it far.
Beautiful put there. Straight into Lungi's hands, Lungi to Sizwe. Back to Lungi. Back to Sizwe.
Lionel downfield, probably going to want this one. Quite a few people just dancing in the middle of the field. Sizwe with no options. Eventually just throwing it over Tristan, getting it to Lungi. Quite a cheeky pass, but needed sometimes. Vian stopping that pass in the middle of the field.
Beautiful poaching there.
Probably the highest I've seen him jump all weekend.
Oh.
Sizwe just putting that one down. Seems a regular occurrence to Lungi.
Vian casually walking over to the disc.
Vian with a huge break.
Sneaky.
Tristan with the little spin for the score.
Beautiful point there by UCT. Great throw by Vian.
And that is game. UCT won it 11-7.
Tough game there.
Both teams really pushing each other. And hopefully UCT can pick it up a little bit for the final that's coming next.
I know we've talked about it again and again, but on this last day it really is hard to get your motivation up there.
Dan, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
AAUC.TV.